The drama in the world of hip hop and love keeps getting hotter, and this time it's Rasheeda who is making headlines for all the wrong reasons. Following a live broadcast, Rasheeda shocked viewers by boldly claiming that she spent the night with Mindy, a man who has been at the center of numerous relationship dramas with his wife Yand and Minnie. Could this be the ultimate betrayal, or is Rasheeda doing something wrong? Yandindi, who was caught off guard by the shocking revelation, is furious and demands answers from Andes, who appears to be caught in a love triangle that no one saw coming. On social media, fans are divided, with some supporting Rashida and others denouncing her for allegedly attempting to destroy a family. This is just stirring the pot to cause chaos among the already strained relationships as the rumor spreads like wildfire. The love and hip hop world is no stranger to drama, but what happened when Rashida claimed she spent the night with men was something no one saw coming. Fans were left completely stunned after she casually dropped this shocking revelation during the live session. What's the truth? Who's telling lies? This is the kind of scandalous drama that keeps viewers glued to their screens. It's only just getting started. Stay tuned as we dive into this explosive story. It started innocently enough, with Rashida hosting a live stream and interacting with her fans as she usually does. Nothing seemed out of the ordinary, but then the words that slipped from her lips stopped everything in its tracks. It was one of those moments that instantly got people talking and sparked endless debates. The drama between Mendes and Yandy was already high, but now that Rashida's claim was hanging in the air, the tension was almost unbearable. The night with Mendeecees, she said casually, as if it were just another detail in her drama-filled life. However, this was not a casual remark. Rather, it was a declaration that sent social media into overdrive. Fans were shocked, and their reactions varied from incredulity to indignation. Some thought it was a setup for drama, but everyone agreed on one thing. This was a huge claim, and with men already caught in the middle of a shaky marriage with Yandindi, things were going to get even more complicated. What Rashida said during that live stream sparked a firestorm of speculation and criticism. Fans immediately started analyzing every word she said, questioning whether she was telling the truth or if it was a publicity stunt. The truth was that no one knew for sure, but the likelihood that it was true was more his marriage to Yandy had been troubled for a while. And now, with Rashida's shocking claim, everything was being thrown into chaos. This was more than enough to set the stage for one of the biggest scandals to hit the love and hip hop franchise. Mendes, who had been relatively quiet about the growing drama, finally broke his silence after the news spread like wildfire. Fans eagerly awaited his response, as had been much speculation. Would he deny it outright, or would he confirm the rumors? Fans were left wondering if he was admitting to it. Was there some truth behind Rashida's bombshell? Or was this just his way of saying that? Mendes chose to post something cryptic instead of a direct denial or confirmation. People love to start drama, but the truth always comes out. In the meantime, Yandy was completely caught off guard. Known for her calm demeanor, she was dealing with her own struggles in the public eye, but this was on a whole new level. Her phone was blowing up, and messages were coming in from all directions. She was in shock, and anyone could see that when she finally went live to address the situation. His evasive response only made the mystery deeper and left fans even more desperate for answers. When she said, "I don't know what's going on, but I'll find out the truth," her voice cracking, it was clear that she didn't know whether to believe Mendes or Rashida. But what was undeniable was that she was hurt by the possibility that her husband could be involved in something so damaging. Yanni's supporters swiftly rallied to her defense. The hate directed at Rashida was evident, but there were also those who questioned Mendeecees' silence, asking how he could remain silent in the face of such serious accusations. Soon after, the situation took a darker turn, with others calling her a liar and demanding that Mendeecees come forward to clear things up. Some even implied that Rashida was merely seeking attention in an attempt to increase her screen time. Online rumors of secret meetings, hidden messages, and even video footage started to circulate. Some fans thought Rashida had a recording of Mendes confessing to their night together, while others thought she had text messages or pictures. Whatever the evidence was, it had to be something significant for Rashida to make such a bold claim. As the days passed and the tension increased, Yandindi, now in full damage control mode, started contacting people to close the longer Mendes remained silent. The more questions were raised. Was he hiding something? Was there more to the story that hadn't been revealed yet? Meanwhile, Rashida played the role of the provocator. She knew what she had done and the drama she had stirred up. She wasn't backing down, and she was enjoying every moment of the chaos she caused. She was desperate for answers and couldn't understand why Mendes wasn't being more forthcoming. The Love and Hip Hop cast, who are typically used to drama, were now watching this situation unfold from the sidelines. Some members chose to remain silent, while others couldn't help but comment on the growing mess. One thing everyone seemed to agree on, though, was that this was no typical scandal. If they want the truth, they'll get it. She posted on social media, further igniting the rumors. With each new post, she kept the public's attention on herself, making it clear that she was in control of the narrative. As the pressure on Mendy grew, he finally broke his silence once more. This time, though, his response was even more cryptic than before. The truth will always come to light, he wrote, leaving fans to interpret the message however they wanted. Was he admitting to something? Was he trying to cover up the truth? Not just another fight between cast members, this was a bombshell that had the potential to tear apart families and relationships. It was personal and was unfolding in real time for everyone to witness. Truth? With the entire world watching, the stakes were higher than ever before. And Yandy's relationship was in jeopardy. Giard and Rasheeda had thrown a huge wrench into the equation, leaving fans more divided than ever. Everyone was wondering what was actually happening, who was telling the truth, and who was attempting to manipulate the situation for their own gain. The Fallout fans were anxiously awaiting the next piece of the puzzle, wondering if Mindy would finally come clean or if Rasheeda and Yandy would face off. Only time would tell. But one thing was certain. The drama surrounding Rasheeda's shocking claim was far from over, and the world was actively following every move as the days went by. Social media was ablaze with contentious discussions about spending the night with Mendeecees, and each new post or comment seemed to stoke the flames even more. Fans couldn't stop talking about it, and other members of the Love and Hip Hop cast also became involved, each offering their own thoughts and conjectures. The tension in the air was high, and it was obvious that this situation wasn't going to go away. Rather, it was turning into a full-fledged spectacle. Still in shock over Rasheeda's claim, Yandy took matters into her own hands. She was determined to find the truth, but the more she investigated, the more perplexing things became. She tried to contact Mendeecees for a direct response, but he remained evasive and distant. "We'll talk when the time is right," he told her over the phone, leaving Yandy feeling more alone and frustrated than ever. The longer he remained silent, the more it seemed like he had something to conceal, and she couldn't get rid of the Yandy felt that he was avoiding her, which only made their relationship worse. Her feelings were all over the place. She was hurt, confused, and angry all at once. How could Mendeecees let this scandal happen without confronting it head on? She had always supported him and stood by his side no matter what, but now it felt like he was excluding her when she needed him the most. The pressure was getting to the point where it seemed like their relationship was hanging by a thread, and Yan and Minnie was unable to concentrate on anything else. On the other hand, Mendeecees remained evasive. The more Rasheeda's claim was discussed, the more the Mormon Mendeecees withdrew into silence. His social media posts became more cryptic, leaving fans to interpret his words however they saw fit. Sometimes the truth is harder than the lies, he wrote. One evening, sending fans into a frenzy, was he confessing to the affair with Rasheeda. The public was quick to take sides as the drama developed, with some fans supporting Rasheeda and believing her version of events, accusing Mendeecees of lying or hiding the truth. They pointed to his silence as a sign of guilt, arguing that if he really had nothing to hide, he would have immediately denied Rasheeda's claim. Or was he just trying to confuse everyone with his ambiguous statements? No one knew for sure, but the ambiguity of his posts only made the situation more intense. One admirer added, "If he really cared about Yandindi, he'd shut this down, but instead he's letting it drag on." Others quickly called out Rasheeda, accusing her of inciting drama for attention, saying Rasheeda is just looking for her 15 minutes of fame. Mendeecees is fishy. She's trying to get people talking about her, and this is just a cheap way of doing it. One commenter wrote, "The fan arguments were getting more intense by the hour, and it seemed like every new development only fueled the flames. Just when things couldn't get any more chaotic, a new twist appeared. A leaked video. The footage that appeared the video of Lees and Rasheeda together at a hotel swiftly went viral on social media. The two could be seen laughing and chatting, clearly at ease in each other's company. The brief clip was enough to start the rumors, and fans analyzed every frame, looking for clues that Rasheeda was having an affair. Claim was real or just a harmless video of two friends hanging out. The video only made the mystery more complex, and it seemed like everyone had an opinion. Some fans said that the video didn't prove anything, pointing out that it could have been taken months before Rasheeda made her claim. Others said that Mendeecees and Rasheeda's chemistry in the video was undeniable and suggested that their relationship went beyond friendship. Naturally, Yand and Mendy was shocked when she saw the video, unable to believe what she was witnessing was real. Then it appeared that Rasheeda's claim had some merit after all. However, Yandy avoided making snap judgments and was determined to learn the whole story before making any decisions. She contacted Mendeecees once more, demanding an explanation, but he again sidestepped her questions and gave no definitive answers, saying, "We'll talk about it when the time is right," in a cold and aloof tone. As Mendeecees remained silent, the drama intensified and fans started to doubt that Mendes and Rasheeda had been in a covert relationship for months, and this was just the tip of the iceberg. The idea that they had been keeping something from everyone only increased the intrigue. Was this an affair, or was it just a case of two people caught up in a situation that went out of control? Some said the video was fake, claiming it was doctored, and that it was all part of a larger scheme to manipulate the public. Feeling the heat, some members took sides and voiced their own opinions about the scandal, while others remained silent so as not to be drawn into the drama. However, everyone had an opinion, and soon the situation became the most talked about topic in the world's reality. News outlets picked up the story, and soon everyone was discussing the love triangle that had suddenly surfaced. Hip hop producers were frantically managing the fallout behind the scenes, knowing that this drama had the potential to become a major drama, the show's biggest stars' relationships, but it was also threatening to destroy them. Would Mines and Yandy be able to survive the scandal, or would it be the end of their marriage? And what part would Rasheeda play in all of this? One thing was certain, though: the drama was far from over, and it was only going to get crazier from here. As the situation progressed, more details started to surface, including rumors about Mendes' past relationships with other women, and the truth about what happened between Mendes and Rasheeda was still unknown. And fans were eager to learn more. Time would tell if there would be more videos with shocking revelations, but for now, one thing was certain: the drama was just getting started, and it was about to get big. Even his involvement in shady business deals began to come to light. It was evident that this scandal would affect not just Mendes and Yandy, but everyone involved in the Love and Hip Hop franchise. Reached a completely new level as the situation continued to get out of hand, and the emotional toll on all parties involved started to show. Yandy, who had previously been so self-assured and in control, now found herself doubting everything. The trust she had built with Mendeecees over the years seemed to be disintegrating before her eyes, and she couldn't understand why he wouldn't come clean and why he was letting this drama play out without accepting responsibility. Every time she tried to contact him, he grew more aloof. She started to question whether this was an indication that their relationship had always been precarious because of the persistent rumors, gossip, and accusations which were negatively impacting Yandy's mental and emotional well-being. She had restless nights wondering what the future held for her and Mendeecees. Every time she browsed social media, she saw new posts from fans, each one more scathing than the last. She had been a rock for so many people in the past, but now she felt lost and unable to focus on her career, her family, or anything else. Every thought was consumed by the scandal, and she even found herself withdrawing from her friends because she didn't know who she could trust anymore. Other people who believed in her turned against her, and it seemed like everyone had an opinion on her personal life. The strain was growing in her day-to-day life. Appeared to be the most distant, while Mendes was handling the fallout in his own way. His defense mechanism was to remain silent, but every time he refused to address the situation, it backfired. Fans became increasingly suspicious, and the media started to notice his lack of transparency. He attempted to concentrate on his work and maintaining a low profile, but he was unable to avoid the mounting pressure. No matter where he went, the once celebrated now that the reality star was at the center of one of the most talked about scandals in the industry, Mendick's past started to come to light. Fans and tabloids dug into his past, unearthing long buried rumors and scandals, some about his business dealings and others about his relationships with other women. It seemed like everyone was out for blood, eager to destroy the image he had painstakingly built. Mendick had always taken pride in being a family man. Kirk Frost, Rasheeda's husband, had always been a supporting character in the love and hip hop universe, but now he found himself caught in the crossfire. Kirk had his own problems with Mendes, and the tension between them had always been simmering just beneath the surface. However, it seemed like everything was falling apart. The more he tried to keep quiet, the more the past came back to haunt him. In an exclusive interview with a well-known blog, Kirk didn't hold back when he publicly accused Mendes of being dishonest and disrespectful to his wife. "Rasheeda is a queen and no one is going to disrespect her like that," Kirk said, his voice full of anger as his claims caused a stir. He couldn't stand seeing his wife dragged into this mess, and he wasn't about to let Mendes get away with whatever was going on behind the scenes. Kirk's remarks only fueled the flames of resentment. Mendeecees, who has always been shady, is now playing games with my family. Fans were split between Kirk and Mendes, as well as between Yandindi and Rasheeda. The drama between the men was now as intense as the drama between the women, and it seemed like there was no way out for anyone. As Kirk's remarks went viral on social media, fans started to take sides. Some supported Kirk, saying that Mendes was a manipulator and liar who had been causing trouble for too long. Others supported Mendes, saying that Kirk was merely trying to create drama for attention. One fan wrote, "He's trying to make himself relevant again by trashing Mendes. Kirk is just angry because his wife is involved in the scandal." When Kirk posted a mysterious message on his Instagram story that hinted at a confrontation with Mendeecees, along with an image of a fist, fans quickly interpreted it as a threat, and soon there were rumors that the two men would face off. The rivalry between the two men had reached a boiling point, and it was obvious that things were going to get much worse. It was evident that things were getting out of hand as the media couldn't help but add fuel to the fire and started covering the potential for a physical altercation between Kirk and Mendeecees. Love and hip hop were heating up. One headline read, "Will Kirk and Mendes come to blows?" Rasheeda's claim continued to haunt the cast of Love and Hip Hop. As the plot developed, fans were no longer really following a straightforward love triangle. Instead, they were witnessing a full-fledged scandal play out in real time. The drama between Mendes, Yandy, and Rasheeda had taken on a life of its own, and it was getting harder to predict how it would all end. However, one thing was certain. Everyone involved, both on and off screen, would be affected by this scandal. No longer really a reality show, it had evolved into a battlefield for private grudges, hurt feelings, and public accusations. Fans were enthralled, and the cast was caught up in an endless cycle of drama, betrayal, and speculation. What began as a single accusation had now grown into a full-fledged reality tap saga, and it appeared as though there was no way out. As the story progressed, everyone wondered if this scandal would ruin the relationships of the time, would tell if they would be able to survive the chaos or fall in love. But for now, the drama was far from over. Mendes' Yandy and Rasheeda's tension was at an all-time high, and every move they made was scrutinized. Whatever happened next, it was obvious that this story wouldn't end quietly. The situation reached a fever pitch when Mendes made a surprising move. After days of being silent, he finally broke his silence. He made the calculated decision to speak out after being inundated with questions, accusations, and rumors. He knew that the longer he remained silent, the more the rumors would get out of control, but he was unprepared for the backlash that would ensue. As soon as he went live, the comment section exploded with irate fans, skeptics, and people demanding answers. "I've been quiet long enough," Mendeecees said. He went on, "Y'all normally I don't get involved in mess like this, but people want to spread lies and cause drama." He paused for a moment as if he expected to deliver the bombshell, but the tension was palpable as fans leaned in, waiting for him to do so. "But enough is enough. I need to set the record straight." After collecting his thoughts, he added, "The truth is nothing happened between me and Rasheeda, nothing at all." This statement left fans in shock because Mehdi had simply denied Rasheeda's claim, and his words were taken seriously. However, the issue was that no one seemed to believe him, so many fans took to social media to criticize his denial, claiming while Mendes tried to keep his cool, the pressure was obviously beginning to get to him. He was accustomed to being in the spotlight, but this level of scrutiny was something he had never experienced before. One comment read, "We all saw the chemistry between him and Rasheeda on the show, now he's trying to save face." The argument over whether or not Mendes was telling the truth only fueled the drama further as fans from both sides of the argument dug in their heels. Drama was ruining his personal life in addition to his career. Yandindi, who was watching the live stream on her phone, experienced a range of emotions. She wanted to believe him, but she was also becoming increasingly suspicious. Their distance from one another had only increased since the accusations surfaced, and she couldn't shake the uneasy feeling that something wasn't adding up. She had already been through a lot with him, and now it felt like he was concealing something. The livestream went on for a few more minutes with Mendes that became increasingly apparent as he spoke that he was more defensive than he had previously been. His usual charm was replaced with a sense of agitation, and it was difficult to ignore the underlying tension in his words. It was almost as if he was trying to convince not just the fans but himself as well. He insisted that he was innocent and denied the accusations repeatedly, saying that he had nothing to do with Rasheeda's drama and that he was just a victim of false rumors. Following Mendy's live stream, she responded promptly to his denial. In a series of posts on her Instagram story, she made it clear that she wasn't backing down and that she was telling the truth. Her words were incisive and full of rage. Means and I spent the night together, and there's no way I'm going to let him lie about it because he'll think I'm out here making things up for attention. No, I'm not that kind of woman. Her followers swiftly came together in support of her, with some applauding her for her courage and others denouncing Mendes for his alleged actions. I'm speaking the truth, she added more posts detailing her side of the story in greater detail, portraying herself as the victim of Lennox's manipulation and deceit. He wants to act as though it never happened, but I'm not going to let him brush it under the rug, Rasheeda continued. The truth always comes out, and now it's time for y'all to see who he really is. As the drama between Mendes and Rasheeda intensified, Yandy found herself in the midst of it all. Her emotions were running high as she attempted to make sense of everything. She wanted to believe Mendes, but she couldn't get rid of the feeling that he was hiding something from her. They were now in full swing, and fans couldn't get enough. Every post, comment, and piece of new information fueled the fire. Disregard the possibility that he was lying, especially given his behavior. It seemed like he was holding back and keeping her at a distance whenever they spoke. Their once strong relationship was now in jeopardy, but Kirk, who had been quietly observing from the sidelines, couldn't help but weigh in once more. In an interview with a gossip blog, he took another shot at Mendeecees, accusing him of being a liar and that the situation was turning into a full-fledged media service, with fans split once more between defending Mendes and supporting Kirk's accusations. Manipulator Mendes is a fraud. Kirk claims he's been lying to Yandindi for years, and now he's just trying to cover his tracks. I won't let him get away with it. Kirk's remarks only served to stoke the flames and intensify the drama between the two men. As the drama unfolded, the question of who was telling the truth remained. Would Mendes be able to clear his name, or would the truth about his relationship with Rasheeda eventually come to light? Only time would tell, but one thing was certain. The fallout from this scandal would be felt for a long time to come. Fans couldn't get enough of the drama, and the cast of Love and Hip Hop was caught in an endless cycle of speculation and controversy. As the drama raged on, the stakes were higher than ever before, and Rasheeda continued to deal with the fallout from the explosive accusations that the world was watching. The Love and Hip Hop universe had been forever changed by this scandal, and it seemed like nothing would ever be the same again. The once glamorous world of reality TV had been replaced by a messy tangled web of lies, betrayal, and heartache. As the weeks passed, the once close-knit Love and Hip Hop cast found themselves torn apart by betrayal, lies, and accusations. Fans had become obsessed with every new development, hanging on to every word that came from Mendes, Rasheeda, and Yandindi. The fallout from Mendes and Rasheeda's shocking claims continued to spiral out of control. It seemed like there was no end in sight for this toxic drama. The initial shock of Rasheeda's claim that she had spent the night with Mendes had begun to fade as time went on, but the drama was far from over. The more the three of them attempted to deny and explain, the more complicated and perplexing the situation became. It was almost like a train wreck, and no matter how much people tried to turn away, they were unable to do so because it was too compelling, too raw, and too sensational to ignore. Yandindi had been through the emotional ringer, spending restless nights thinking about the lies she had. It was no secret that Yandi's inner circle had started to doubt Mendes's loyalty, and they weren't afraid to voice their concerns. Many advised her to walk away, to let go of someone who could so easily lie to her, but Yandy struggled to reconcile the man she loved with the accusations. She was told that her trust in Mendes had been shattered, but she still held out hope that there was some part of him that wasn't capable of the betrayal everyone was accusing him of. As Yandy went about her everyday life, she couldn't help but notice the growing distance between them. Mendes' refusal to genuinely open up and explain what had happened was driving a wedge between them. His silence spoke volumes, and as much as she wanted to believe he was innocent, his lack of transparency made it nearly impossible to do so. She had been with Mendes through thick and thin, and despite everything, her heart wasn't ready to let him go. For Means, the situation was equally complex. He had done everything he could to keep his name clean, but the media storm was unrelenting. Every interview, post, and statement was examined to the point of exhaustion. He felt as though he was drowning in a sea of accusations that were too big for him to handle. Their conversation had now felt forced, full of tension and mistrust, and Yandindi couldn't get rid of the feeling that Mendes was hiding something bigger than she could imagine. To escape the chaos that had gotten out of hand, he tried to shield Yandy from the ugly aspects of it all, even though he knew that he could have been more open with her from the beginning. Now that choice was coming back to haunt him, And the more he tried to defend himself, the more the media and fans seemed to turn against him. It seemed like no matter what he said, it was never enough. Then came the bombshell, an unexpected turn of events that no one saw coming, and an enigmatic video appeared online, showing Mendes and Rasheeda laughing and joking together late at night in what appeared to be an intimate conversation. The video was grainy, and the context was unclear, but the implications were huge. Fans jumped to conclusions right away, taking it as evidence that Mendes and Rasheeda's night together had been more than just innocent. The video stoked more rumors, and fans went crazy on social media, demanding answers from the public with split on both Mendes and Rasheeda once more. Some thought it was a friendly exchange, while others saw it as more proof of the affair. The drama was now at its height, and the distinction between fact and fiction was becoming more hazy. As the pressure mounted, Mendes made another public statement, but this time he appeared worn out and exhausted by the constant struggle to clear his name. "I know y'all are waiting for me to explain myself, but let me be clear," he said on Instagram. "I never had an affair with Rasheeda," he said in a shaky voice. "That video you saw is not what you think. It was a misunderstanding, nothing more. We've been friends for a long time, and we were just talking like we always do. The rumors have taken on a life of their own, and I can't keep fighting them. I love my wife Yandindi, and I will do anything to fix this." His remarks elicited a range of responses from fans, with some sympathetic to his plight, while others were not convinced, pointing to in an honest interview with a tabloid magazine, Rasheeda stated, "Mendeecees wants to make it seem like I'm lying, but I've been honest from the start." The video and the fact that he had never fully addressed the rumors about the night he spent with Rasheeda made it seem like no matter what he said, the drama would never fully die down. Rasheeda, on the other hand, remained unyielding. She stood firm in her claims and continued to share her side of the story with the world. "You can believe whatever you want, but the truth is that we spent the night together. Don't let him deceive you. It's about everything that happened before that night." Her words only made things more polarizing, and her supporters came together to demand justice. With no end in sight, the whole situation kept falling apart, leaving Yandendi at a loss for who to believe and what to believe. As the drama between Mendeecees, Rasheeda, and Yandy reached new heights, fans were left with more questions than answers. She had loved Mendes with all her heart, but the harsh reality of the situation kept pulling her in the opposite direction. Now, the very foundation of their relationship was crumbling beneath her feet. The more she considered the claims, the more she wondered if she could ever truly trust him again. Time would tell, but one thing was certain: the fallout from this scandal would leave a lasting mark on all of them, and the world of love and hip hop would never be the same again. The entire cast had been thrown into a whirlwind of drama, and while the fans were enthralled by the spectacle, it was obvious that the real as the shocking claims of Rasheeda spending the night with Mendes continued to make waves, were left with more questions than answers. For Men's Yandy and Rasheeda, the drama was no longer just a plot point. It was their reality. As they all tried to sort through the mess they had made, they had no choice but to face the consequences of their actions in hope that they could somehow mend what had been broken. And Yandy has enthralled the whole love and hip hop fan base, and it looks like there's no end in sight. What do you think? Is Rasheeda telling the truth, or is Mendes just enmeshed in a web of lies? Will Yandy ever forgive him after everything that's happened, or will this scandal ultimately destroy their family forever? Please share your opinions in the comments section below. Do you think Rasheeda's version of events is credible? There's a lot of drama going on, and we're sure you have a lot to say about it. Don't hold back and let's start the conversation. If you're as engrossed in this drama as we are, be sure to hit the like button and show your support. We have plenty more juicy content. Do you think Mendes is innocent? Is Yandy's trust in him completely shattered, or can they still save their relationship? There are rumors, dramatic disclosures, and reality TV dramas on the horizon, but we don't want you to miss nothing. Please make sure to turn on the notification bell and subscribe to our channel. This narrative is far from over, and you'll be the first to know when fresh updates are released, and we'll be here to provide you with all the newest information at every stage. Stay tuned. As always, thank you for watching, stay connected, and we look forward to hearing your thoughts on this absurd circumstance.